Germs are virtually everywhere, and they just keep on getting more and more advanced each day. Some places, though, might be just best to avoid. Whether it's the paper money that passes through hands each and every day to some of the worst polluted bodies of water. Here are the dirtiest places in the world.
Hey guys, this is your host, American Eye. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy that video.
Number 15. Public transportation. One of the places we warned you about going to during the zombie apocalypse was to any public transportation outlet. These places can be a source of germs like no other, especially in certain cities. Many from out of the country have even found New York City's subway system to be appalling, and it's rather difficult to properly maintain such a large underground system of tunnels. In many places, you might find graffiti, rats, or even trash. Due to the high quantity of people within closed spaces, you're essentially breathing the same air, and this makes airborne illnesses much more likely. Number 14. Contaminated currency. Paper currency is actually one of the germiest things out there on a microbiological point of view. A group of researchers in 2002 found out there was bacteria on nearly 94% of all paper bills. This might not seem like something you should worry about too much, and you probably would know that other bacteria is just about everywhere. But 7% of the ones that did actually have bacteria contain harmful microorganisms that can actually make you sick. Although credit and debit cards are becoming more and more popular, you still pretty much come into contact with some cash at some point in time during the day. Who knows if that dollar bill or if those coins you're using has been to the gentleman's club at some point in time. Number 13. The kitchen sink. One of the germiest places in your home, the kitchen sink should not be forgotten next time you decide to do some spring cleaning. Researchers found that the kitchen sink contained an average of 17,954 single-celled organisms per square inch. In fact, even the kitchen sink might have more germs in it than a toilet after it's been flushed. People should consider keeping it cleaner due to the fact that much cooking goes on in this area. The food left at the bottom of the sink gets eaten up by microorganisms, and a lot of the food we put down the drain doesn't just go to waste. You guessed it, bacteria will eat that too. It's important to not only wipe down the surface of the sink, but also to have some kind of disinfectant to pour down the drain as well. This can also make your home smell much better if you haven't done it recently. In really bad cases though, worms can even start crawling around underneath the faucet, so keep an eye out. Number 12. Gym equipment. Each time you head to the gym in order to get ripped, you're taking a pretty good chance of getting sick from someone who's already there. Gyms are somewhat similar to public transportation in a way, with high quantities of people in an enclosed space. However, since more sweating is involved, it opens you up to other infections. People might report getting ringworm after frequent gym use or from using the showers at the gym. It's also usually a good idea to bring your own towel, but it certainly doesn't get rid of all the germs. Microbes are still on the towel, so maybe think twice about wiping your face down with it. Number 11. The Blarney Stone. The Blarney Stone will probably get more kisses from girls in one day than you will in your lifetime. It's said to bring the gift of gab and good luck to those who do. Considering how many people have put their lips on this thing, is it really worth a cold sore? Legends even say the bloody stone is cursed. Some have claimed it to be the dirtiest tourist attraction, and kissing the Blarney Stone might be like kissing the lid of a toilet bowl. It's estimated that roughly 400,000 people pucker up and give this stone a smooch each year. Number 10. Beds. As a kid, you might remember your parents saying something like, "Sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite." You might have just thought this was some kind of sick joke your parents were playing on you, but that's not the case. Bed bugs are real, and they can live in your bed without you even knowing it. You can even spot them with the naked eye, and normally they prefer to eat other bugs. People spend an estimated 1/3 of their life in bed, so it makes sense for beds to be places where parasites can hide out at. Bites from bed bugs may not be too noticeable at first, but 14 days later and that thing's gonna be itchy. It can inject chemicals into your skin while you're sleeping, so you can't feel them biting into you. Make sure to check your bed before it's too late. Number 9. Door handles. This one probably makes sense, especially entering a busy door or bathroom. Since our hands are considered to be one of the germiest places on our body, there's no shortage of germs on door handles. The door handle is usually more vulnerable to microorganisms, also due to certain factors such as humidity, temperature, and the material it's made from. It's not always possible to avoid door handles unless you're wearing gloves or unless you wash your hands immediately afterwards. People should also consider it slightly redundant to wash their hands and then open a bathroom door. Experiments have been done which revealed 27 door handles hosting a total of 1,323 species of bacteria. It's believed that door handles also spread a role in the spread of the swine flu in 2009. Number 8. Swamps and bayous. Slow-moving stagnant water is often a fresh breeding ground for all kinds of microorganisms, fungi, bacteria, and maybe even the zombie apocalypse virus. Brain and flesh-eating bacteria have been known to flourish in swampy areas in the US, and it's often advised not to swim here. Not everyone, though, will choose to listen, and they might contract a rare amoeba called Naegleria fowleri. It's also known as the brain-eating amoeba, which has less than a 1% survival rate. Although it's quite rare, it's been known to leave people in a delirious state until respiratory failure settles in. Number 7. The Ganges River. It's one of the biggest environmental disasters in Asia, and it could have a massive impact on millions of people if conditions continue to get worse. It's estimated that 792 million gallons of untreated sewage enters the sacred river in India each day. Despite large amounts of disgusting waste coming into this body of water each day, many still choose to bathe in it for religious ceremonies. Others simply don't have a choice and use the river as a giant toilet since they can't afford one in their home. Attempts to clean the river have failed, but a large budget has been provided by the Prime Minister to fix the problem. Exposure to the Ganges on a daily basis has been known to link to diseases such as cholera and dysentery. Number 6. Your underwear. You might think you do the best laundry in town, but have you ever stopped to think why Goodwill wouldn't accept your dirty drawers? Some will suggest that you shouldn't keep a pair of underwear for over a year. Some research has been done which shows that wearing old underwear will increase your chances of catching a urinary tract infection, and even your underwear you thought you cleaned turned out to be dirty. Even if it's your lucky pair that you've had for a while, it may still be time to give them up. Number 5. Outdoor music festivals. We're not saying you should totally give up on life and choose to live in a bubble because you're afraid of getting sick. But after Woodstock, people who attended music festivals haven't really gotten the best reputation of being the cleanest people out there. It's not even just the hippies you have to worry about. Many have also found out that the wristbands are completely riddled with germs. The wristbands tend to attract microbes linked to staph infection like a magnet, and you should probably take them off as soon as you no longer need them. Oh yeah, and the festivals that take place in South Korea can get pretty dirty too. Number 4. Oscar Wilde's grave. If you've been to the Père Lachaise cemetery in Paris, you might understand why this one is a little bit dirty. Similar to the Blarney Stone in Ireland, tourists put on their brightest red lipstick and give the tomb of Oscar Wilde a gros bisou. Fans might look for a spot that doesn't have any lipstick on it to give it a kiss, but something just seems a little bit off about doing this to a gravestone. There are probably over 1,000 kiss marks on this gravestone, and we're sure you're probably aware of how bacteria can linger around from one spot to another. Romantic fact of the day, the human mouth contains billions of bacteria, about the equivalent number as a domesticated dog. In fact, dogs average about 600 types of bacteria in their mouth, as opposed to humans, who have 615 types of bacteria on average. Tell that to your girlfriend before you give her a kiss. Number 3. Water parks. You might remember growing up as a kid and being totally stoked about going to the water park. So many cool slides to choose from, and so much bacteria to get contaminated with. It can be a very, very slippery slope, and when it comes to water parks, serious outbreaks have been known to occur. One girl caught the brain-eating amoeba we mentioned earlier at the water park in Little Rock. It just seems simply hard to keep these entire places germ-free. People taking the lazy river might become a little bit too lazy and not feel like getting up to go to the bathroom. Children who use swim diapers might not always have them properly sealed, and one thing can certainly lead to another. Water park employees often feel a little bit uneasy about emptying large amounts of chemicals into the water, which has been known to be toxic enough to be harmful to the environment. Number 2. Hand dryers. Could it possibly be true? Could the very thing we use to dry our hands after cleaning them be full of bacteria? Some sites claim there isn't enough evidence to fully prove that this one has been concluded. Microbiology professors got to work with some swabs and some petri dishes and tried to see if they can colonize some fungus. It was unclear whether or not the microorganisms were harmful to humans, but by the looks of it, we'd say yes. The professor, Nicole Ward, urged her class to share the findings on Facebook and other social medias to raise awareness. The photo went viral with many theories, which would seem to gather support fairly quickly to use paper towels instead. Could this have possibly been a marketing ploy by paper towel companies to help boost profits? It's always possible. After this study happened, there was actually a study funded by the hand drying companies in order to prove them wrong. And number 1. Fish farms. Due to the rising demand in fish, such as salmon and tilapia, fish are being bred in various fish farms around the world, which microbiologists are beginning to worry about. You might not know for sure right away if your fish is raised on a farm or not, but the farms are beginning to become home to super bacteria. Since the conditions are often poor, a large dosage of antibiotics are given to the fish, which kill off a large majority of bacteria. However, the ones that do survive reproduce, which leads to antibiotic resistance. Once this happens, it may affect our food source and the ocean, and things may never be the same again.